And now please welcome the head coach of the 4-0 and 8th-ranked Fighting Irish, Brian Kelly. Coach, welcome.
Good to be here.
Well, I know we're going to have some players that we're going to get on here very, very quickly, but a couple quick questions right from the audience.
They got to eat first. As long as they eat, feed your offensive linemen.
Feed them.
Feed them. Let them then speak, and then let them go home and get ready to eat again.
So, well, they're linemen. Do they ever stop eating?
Yeah, they do.
Isn't that part of it?
They rest.
They rest.
They rest.
And then they eat again.
Yes,
and then
absolutely.
they rest and fuel properly, but with them only healthy food.
Absolutely.
And only healthy food. Well, our goal is to get the players out by 7:30 tonight. Matthew Rose is here from Johnstown, New York. Very good question to start. What has the week been like in practice? What stands out that is making you feel good about the game this weekend?
Well, I like our team. They know what preparation is now after, going through it for the first month of the season. They recognize how important it is to prepare the right way. And, when you have a group of guys that see success, they know that the work that they do during the week is why they've been successful. They've learned that, and so when you come to practice each and every day, they know that you just can't show up on Saturdays and expect to win. You have to put in the time and put in the effort, and they certainly recognize that. And then you have to go and play the game and execute. And so our guys are locked in. They recognize that Saturday's a big event, but they're ready for it. That's why they come to Notre Dame. They want to play in these games. That's why fans come to these kinds of games. It's two top 10, teams playing in Notre Dame Stadium for the first time since the late 1990s.
Mm-hmm. And only the 36th time, I guess, overall, which is
36,
remarkable.
35th time in the history of Notre Dame. So that's why you come to Notre Dame. So our guys are excited about that.
And that was amazed by that. I mean, I've been here since the early 80s, that this is just the 35th time that's happened. And it's the only time in the Notre Dame-Stanford series since the very first meeting in the 1925 Rose Bowl that both teams are undefeated.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun. And our guys recognize, again, that, they have to control the controllables, right? Their preparation, they can control that. They can't control anything else. It's just how they prepare during the week and take care of that. And, we're in our stadium. And, that's a big thing for us.
And that was kind of your theme this week: focus, no distractions, and consistency. Those three things. Play consistently at a high level like you have the last couple of weeks, but don't be distracted. Just focus on the task at hand.
Yeah, it's easy to get distracted, especially when you're at home. People want tickets. There's everybody's telling you how great you are. I think our team recognizes that, those things don't matter. What we did last week has no bearing on what we're doing right now. We can't control last week. We can't control next week. We can control what we do tomorrow in our walkthrough, and that's the most important thing.
I was fascinated when you told the team earlier this week when you explained why you let them play music at the beginning of practice.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily so that they get out there and start to show their dance moves. It's so that they can flush all of the stresses and the focus of the day academically, which you want them to have, so that all they're doing is thinking about football for the 2 hours or so that they're out of practice.
Well, they need a transition. They've been in the classroom. It's a very highly competitive environment that they're in, and they need that transition. So the music is an opportunity for them to kind of just transition to what is going to be a highly competitive practice situation as well. We push them really hard, just like their faculty push them to be great in the classroom. We push them hard. So these kids get pushed hard all day in the classroom, on the football field. They're not taking online classes. I mean, they are in the classroom with the best and the brightest students in the country. And so they need that transition to get their mental game in order. And it's just a great segment and transition for us.
Tom Hensler is here. He lives in Houston. He's here all fall. Tom, if you're here, raise your hand. Tom's also a former monogram-winning fencer at Notre Dame.
And he's won more championships than anybody in this place right here.
Well, and he comes back now. He works out with the fencing team every day, and then he runs over here to come to the show.
I think they work out with him.
Well, he said they kicked his tail a couple of weeks ago, so the fencing team's pretty darn good as the defending national champions. But this is an interesting question because you just came from your last press conference of the week until after the game. Coach, who asked better questions, the pros at your press conferences or us amateurs at your radio show?
None of you. No, I mean, I actually think the questions here have been really good. They're insightful questions. Sometimes it's difficult to answer them in the short bites that we have, but obviously the questions that come in to Jack have been well thought out, and sometimes the questions that are asked by the media are elicited by maybe fans that want to know something, right? And so they're just they're asking questions, and they know the answers, but they're kind of they work for somebody.
Yes.
Sometimes, but we have a pretty good group. Our beat writers are pretty fair. They're going to tell it like it is. If they don't like what I did, they're gonna put it out there, which is fine. They're entitled to have their opinions, as long as they stay away from the players and don't have polls about our players and things like that. I'm fine with that, but I'm fair game to all that stuff.
I think it's fair to say that an offensive line that is coming together after losing a couple of top 10 draft picks, actually 2 top 9 NFL picks, had its best 2 weeks in the last 2 weeks of play so far.
Yeah, but
the year.
I would really say that Sam and Alex really made McGlinchey and Nelson. Those 2 guys weren't that good. The 2 guys that we have coming up here next, listen, that's why they're on the show. McGlinchey wasn't that good, and Nelson was really overrated. Okay, all they are is multi-million-dollar guys because of these 2 guys, and that's why they're on the show, because they made them look good.
I cannot possibly match that intro, so we're going to take our first break, and we'll get the 2 key members of last year's Joe Moore National Offensive Line of the Year award-winning line up here after this first time out. The Brian Kelly Radio Show, live from Rourke's Public House.
We know you like football. So do we. We're TireRack.com, and this is our version of a 2-minute drill, except it's only 30 seconds. TireRack.com has an enormous selection of tires. Not sure which ones to buy? Use our tire decision guide to find the right tires for your vehicle and the way you drive. Then get them shipped fast and free on all orders over $50. Shipping is in as little as 1 day. Free. TireRack.com ships to independent, recommended installers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Touchdown!
Traffic. It can be more stressful than that last-second Hail Mary pass. But Nissan changed the game. Nissan Rogue has available Nissan Intelligent Mobility, like ProPilot Assist, that can start and stop in highway traffic all on its own and help keep you centered. Nissan Rogue. It's a game changer. Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics. ProPilot Assist is an available feature and cannot prevent collisions. Always monitor traffic conditions. Keep both hands on the steering wheel. See owner's manual for safety information.
At St. Joseph Health System, every hand held, every story told, every tear shed, smile shared, and spirit lifted stays in our hearts forever. We're blessed because every day we get to make a difference in people's lives. To learn more, visit sjmed.com. St. Joseph Health System. We are called to care for you.
This isn't just any Wi-Fi. It's the best in-home Wi-Fi experience to stream the most free shows on any device. It's how Xfinity makes life simple, easy, awesome.
Xfinity delivers fast speeds and the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Perfect for streaming your favorites. Access the most free shows and movies, and even your DVR recordings on any device with the Xfinity Stream app. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply.
Welcome back to the Brian Kelly Radio Show. Please welcome the 2 offensive captains of this year's team, left guard Alex Bars and center Sam Mustipher.
Thanks.
In all the years I've been here, I can never remember the 2 offensive captains being offensive linemen, which is indicative of not only their leadership skills, but how valuable they are to this team.
Oh, no doubt. And Sam, first of all, starting center, has been in that that role, that leadership role from the very beginning. You know, the center really, he's got his hand on the ball. He's got, you know, such an incredible responsibility. And Sam's seen it all. He's seen the good and the bad and has lived through it. And that's why he's in such an important position of leadership, both in our locker room and on our football team. Alex, on the other hand, has been a starter for us for 3 years, but has embraced the leadership role that was presented to him this year and did a great job. I mean, as we went through the spring, we got to the spring, and we had one more captainship to award, and we said it's open to 3 candidates, and Sam went out and took it by his actions and by really his leadership, and it was really great to see. And so to have 2 guys on the offensive line is really pretty impressive to be able to do that.
The bar was set very high last year. Last year, Notre Dame rushed for 3,503 yards, the most in Notre Dame history. 6.3 yards per carry, the most in Notre Dame history. You won the Joe Moore Award, but now that's the bar where you want to be. And when you look at Sam is the only player playing in the same position that he played last year. So how important has his steadiness in the middle been for everybody else to come together? Because they're all experienced, they've all worked hard, but it takes a while for a line to gel.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, and he's had somebody new on his right and left each time along the way. So you can imagine that communication that's so crucial. He's been the maestro, if you will, of the band and keeping it all together. Alex has been the guy that's played virtually all the positions other than and he's played center too, you know. Yeah. So he's played a little center, guard and tackle. So to have the versatility obviously is going to only help him, but you know, Sam has been the guy that's kind of kept it all together for us.
The left tackle position, obviously, always key. Very unusual to have a first-time starter there. Would you have been able, Liam Eichenberg, such great potential, getting better every week, but would you have been able to start him at left tackle if you could not have a guy at left guard like Alex Bars?
Oh, well, we deliberately put him at left tackle because Alex was there. If Alex was at right, he'd be over at right. You want to put your young guy with a veteran because their communication, you know, he's taking a lot of that communication. He's working with the young player. So everybody talks about, the left tackle. But it's really about pairing up those two. And, you know, all along, we could have moved Robert Hainsey to left tackle. He's arguably probably, our best pass, set guy. But we wanted Alex with our, our younger player, if you will, and it worked out great.
You know, a couple of years ago, this team had a tough season, and Coach interviewed every player on the team to get feedback. And one of them was you wanted him around more. You wanted him to have more of a relationship.
Now they want me to leave more.
Now they've changed.
They're like, go for a long lunch.
But talk a little bit about how that relationship has changed and how involved he is now in all of the aspects of this program and the relationship he's developed with all of you guys.
Yeah, it's been tremendous. I mean, like you said, he met with us after that tough year and made the changes that were necessary. He brought in Matt Bayless, which has been outstanding for all of us. I mean, he's a terrific guy, amazing strength coach, and just cares so much about you that he's going to push you to be the best that you can be. Like you said, he's just been outstanding in making sure that the communication between our offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, receivers coach is all there and that we're meshing really well as an offense as well as a defense.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, it's a testament to who Coach Kelly is as a person, really. It's difficult to, take a look in the mirror and say, what can I do to help this team win and have to change what you've been doing. And, he did that. And this team is better because of that. And, like he always says to us during every week with the SWAT team competitions that Coach Bayless has introduced, winners get good stuff. And, he's around all the time and he understands that. And, we love having him around.
Explain to the folks here who may not be familiar, what is the SWAT team competition?
So Coach split us up into groups. I think there's 8 SWAT leaders, prominent older guys, more experienced players that have a leadership role on our team, and he's assigned different position groups and players to each team. And they compete in the weight room, out on the field, academics, community service, to get points that are totaled up at the end of the week, and you have your winners and your losers depending on how many points you get.
Winners get good stuff.
Yep.
Losers don't get good stuff. So it's good to be a winner. And these guys win a lot.
Well, and I think we all forget, and now some days I think I was 18 yesterday, but I realize it was a long time ago. You're still growing up when you're 18 to 22, and it is a way to reinforce positive behavior, not just for the football team, but for life.
No doubt. And so these are transferable traits, right? So we're working on traits that they can take with them, when they leave Notre Dame, traits that make them better husbands, fathers, better citizens on a day-to-day basis. So traits of attention to detail, making sure their locker is clean, making sure that, they're on time, for everything that they do, having great focus, a great attitude, just being smart and making good decisions. All of those things matter. And so, these SWAT teams really help reinforce all of those traits. And who wouldn't say that having grit is not going to help you win a football game? All of these things are transferable. They help you on the football field. They help you in life. And so when they leave Notre Dame, we've turned over young men that are going to be successful in life. And so the SWAT teams kind of, they transcend the day-to-day, but these guys want to compete. So when they come down in the weight room, one of the things they said to me, and he mentioned Matt Bayless, what they wanted is when they came over from that classroom, they wanted to get in the weight room and get after it. And so when they come to the weight room now, they compete in everything. Every weight they pick up, there's competition. It's not just doing your sets and reps. They're competing against each other every single day, and they're getting points for that competition. And so creating that competition on a day-to-day basis has really created within our own program an opportunity for our guys to really hone those skills daily.
Change is inevitable in college athletics. Part of it is by graduation for players, but it also happens on coaching staffs. You have great coaches. Sometimes they're going to leave. You lost a great one in Harry Heastan. But your quote-unquote new line coach is a guy that coaches worked with for years who had been on this staff as an analyst for 3 years in Coach Quinn. How has that helped that transition? Because you've got a guy that understands the program, understands you, understands coach's philosophy, and knew all of you when he stepped into this role.
Exactly. He's familiar with the program. He understood the calls, techniques that Harry taught. So he's done a phenomenal job of making sure that culture and standard within the room has continued on. The guys in the room respond to him really well. He's teaching a lot of the same technique, the same calls. So this transition's been really smooth.
Offensive line play is simple. Run block, you want to allow zero penetration. Pass pro, protect inside out. And the good part about Coach Quinn is he understands the standard of excellence that we have here, and he does his best to reinforce that every single day.
Both of these young men come from football families. We'll learn a little bit more about their families right after this time out. It's the Brian Kelly Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House.
Eddy Street Commons at Notre Dame invites you to dine, shop, enjoy. Just south of campus, Eddy Street Commons has specialty shops like Urban Outfitters, Nicholas J. Salon, Kilwin's Chocolates, and Hammis Bookstore. If you're looking for a delicious dining destination, consider one of Eddy Street's many eateries. O'Rourke's, Barbici, Brothers Bar and Grill, and now open is Livery. That's Eddy Street Commons at Notre Dame. Follow them on Facebook. For details on upcoming events and special offers, visit eddycommons.com.
When working at a growing business, you wear many hats. The new business hat, the buying toner for the copy machine hat, the sifting through tons of resumes hat. You can throw away that last hat thanks to Indeed.com. When posting your job, Indeed lets you add screener questions that give you a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates. So go ahead, dust off that extra long lunch hat. Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
Finally, one place to post your event where everyone in Michiana will see it. It's the new MichianaCommunityCalendar.com. That's right, MichianaCommunityCalendar.com. It's clean, it's simple, it's just a big list of events in our area. And now your nonprofit can add an event on MichianaCommunityCalendar.com for free. Just click Add an Event right now at MichianaCommunityCalendar.com. Keeping you connected with Michiana, this service is brought to you by the WSBT Radio Group, Midwest Family Broadcasting.
No matter how modern your family might be, if you're pedaling around bedrock in a gas engine vehicle, you're living in the past.
Meet George Jetson.
The era of the electric vehicle has arrived. With instant acceleration, electric cars are more fun to drive and more affordable than ever. Electric cars are here. Plug in to the present. Learn more at plugintothepresent.com. Sponsored by Volkswagen Group of America.
Be sure to join former Notre Dame quarterback Evan Sharpley and me, Sean Stiers, every Friday at noon for the Leprechaun Lunch with Sean and Sharpley, right here on 96.1 WSBT, the sports leader.
I think if Ian starts this game, I think he starts Stanford.
Write it down. Evan Sharpley. You sticking with that?
I'm going to stick with that.
Okay.
Unless he doesn't play well.
What a cop-out.
I'm hedging my bets here.
All right. Bold predictions and more on the Leprechaun Lunch with Sean and Sharpley every Friday at noon on 96.1 WSBT, the sports leader.
Welcome back to the Brian Kelly Radio Show. Great crowd here at O'Rourke's getting ready for the big showdown with Stanford. As I mentioned, both of these young men from football families. By the way, I do have to mention Alex Bars, preseason first-team Sporting News All-American, second-team AP All-American, Outland Trophy watch list. But you come from a family of players. Your brother, Brad, played defensive end at Penn State. Brother Blake, offensive line at, we have to say it, Michigan, but he was rooting for you this year, right?
He was rooting for me.
But your dad, I remember him, played for Notre Dame at linebacker back from 81 to 84. So how come it took until you for him to get a Domer in the family?
Nah, I don't know. My brothers didn't get offers from Notre Dame, but I'm sure if they did, they probably would have followed in his footsteps. It's funny, during recruiting, he didn't even push me towards Notre Dame. He left it wide open, let me look at every school I wanted to, and Notre Dame was just the best fit. So.
Was there a lot of Notre Dame stuff in your family growing up, though, because he went here? Did you come here a lot as a kid or not necessarily?
I made a few trips up here. We tailgated with Ross Browner one time.
Who's here this weekend, by the way?
Is he here this weekend? We had his jersey, his team photo, his helmet, all that stuff.
All right. Sam, you have the interesting situation of having a younger brother who is just starting to follow in your footsteps. PJ is a freshman defensive tackle for number 9 Penn State. He has 6 tackles in 4 games this season. You can't watch him play Ohio State Saturday night because you got to focus on your own game. But what's that dynamic been like?
It's cool having a younger brother. He's kind of blazing his own trail, doing his own thing. He's on the opposite side of the ball. Obviously, it was a dream for us to be able to play together. We never got the chance, but hopefully we see him down the road this season. That'd be pretty exciting.
So how much went into that? Because you said blazing their own trail, and I know a lot of people said everybody in the Notre Dame family, why doesn't everybody come to Notre Dame? But sometimes you just want to be out of Big Brother's shadow.
Absolutely, and he really did the same thing for high school. We went to 2 different high schools. He plays a different position, so it's really his own type of style, his style.
You may have heard of Nick Wisher and the Wish Fest T-shirt right here that Alex is wearing. It's a wonderful charity. Talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, well, Nick unfortunately lost his brother to cancer when he was younger, when he was in high school. So every year they throw a benefit concert, generally in December, to benefit families that are struggling with cancer, raise money for charity for their families. They have big names like OAR, Third Eye Blind, Eddie Money, Rodney Atkins. This year they have Dispatch. So it's just a phenomenal thing, and we love supporting him every year.
I'm not necessarily going to say compare and contrast, but you knew last year you guys were the best line in the country. Mm-hmm. Where are you now in relation to where you thought this line would be 4 games in? Sam, what do you think? A tough question.
I mean, we're getting better each and every week, and I feel like improvement's the big thing. And, if we were stagnant and where we were progressing, I'd be a little bit concerned, but I'm not at all. We're right where we want to be, and it's just really getting better each and every week, honing in on the fundamentals and technique. And, at the end of the year, we'll be where we want to be. But as Coach Kelly always tells us, just focus on the process, and the outcome will be just fine.
I'll give my opinion after I have you answer the question, and it's just an opinion from standing on the sideline, which means I have the same bad view of the game that you guys do now. But what do you think you did the best this weekend down at Wake Forest? Where was the biggest improvement?
I think our communication. We were getting different looks and ability for Liam to make a certain call based on what he was seeing and communicate it down the line, a pressure look. I thought our communication was outstanding and our ability to read the defense.
Now, Ian had started last year against Carolina, came in and helped lead you to victory in the bowl game. But how much did you have to help him? Because they were rotating throughout practice, but again, it's his first start of the year, only 2nd overall. Did you have to help him a little bit at all?
I don't think so, and I think Alex would agree with me on that.
Not at all. I mean, both quarterbacks are ready at all times. They're ready to go. We love blocking for both of them, and no, we really have to get both ready.
And they're both. I mean, we're in a world like there's Clemson's quarterback is transferring now because he lost the starting job. Brandon and Ian are pretty close, and obviously Brandon still wants to start. Ian has always wanted to start, but there doesn't seem to be that dynamic because the major thing for both of them is they want to win, and whoever the coaches decide needs to be in there for a game. The other one's 100% behind.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there could arise a situation where that would split a team apart and people in favor of one or the other, but no, they're really supportive of each other. They push each other every day to get better, and honestly, they want the best guy out there competing every Saturday.
So a lot of times lines are judged by how well you run the football. 5.1 yards per rush against Vandy, because I know you were disappointed, especially with Ball State. 6 yards per rush against Wake Forest, and it was up over 7 until the end of the game when some of the younger players got some play. But I honestly thought, and you can disagree, I thought you did your best job protecting the quarterback against Vanderbilt. One of the local beat writers went back and watched the whole tape. On his 36 passing attempts, Ian was only pressured on 10 of them. Now, some of them he was rolling out, but there are other times he had the time, and you gave him a lot of time to find open receivers. Did you sense that you did your best job pass blocking this year in this game?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have a statistic like that out there, it really proves it. But like Bar said, the communication was the huge part to that. If everybody's on the same exact page, it's easy to protect the quarterback, and we take pride in people not touching him.
Now, Coach just said wherever Liam started this year, whichever tackle, you were going to be next to him. So how do you view your role as a mentor to him?
Well, first-year starter, it's tough to have confidence. You get confidence through experience, through mastering technique, through actually playing games, and he doesn't have that. Robert,
and he had to start against Michigan, too.
Yeah, and he had to start against Michigan, but he's an outstanding player. He has unbelievable potential. So for me, it was just making sure that he had that confidence, that he himself knew that he had the confidence to understand the techniques and assignments that he was going to face.
Who were your mentors when you first started?
Nick Martin.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty good guy to learn after.
Yeah. Nick Martin and Ronnie Stanley. I was the left guard between the two, and Sam was behind Nick.
Sometimes we joke that Notre Dame's tight end Hugh, that Notre Dame tight ends always end up in the NFL, but right now, a lot of the linemen are ended up in the NFL. I mean, when you bring recruits in and stuff, is that beginning to get noticed right now? Because Notre Dame's always had great linemen, but it seems like every year you have 2, 3, or 4 guys that are going to play at a high level at the next level. And is that one of the things that attracted you guys to come here?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, the track record of players that have come out speaks for itself, so it's definitely appealing.
This is not something that you necessarily look for attention as offensive linemen. We often joke that if no one is talking about you, that's good, because that means you're doing your jobs. But talk to me a little bit about the culture of the offensive line, because it is a team, and this is a close team, but there certainly is no closer unit than an offensive line unit. Talk about what it takes to be part of the offensive line.
It's a family. We're headed to pizza night right after this, so that's where we do everything together. We're walking around the Goog together. We pot up at practice together. It's really what makes this group special. And like Alex said, the guys that came before us, mentoring us, and having Alex as somebody who can play multiple different positions, and coach having the confidence in him to say, hey, can we move you over to left guard? And Alex being like, absolutely, so that he can mentor and make Liam feel more comfortable in his first year starting. It's really just a testament to this group, and guys like Alex and, the Nick Martins, the Ronnie Stanleys, Chris Watts, Q, those guys before us, they laid the path of excellence for us perfectly.
And it pays off on Saturdays, having that communication. We hang out so much with each other. We develop that trust on as well as off the field, and you can see it on Saturdays.
All right, we're going to have these guys run the 60-second drill right after this timeout. Brian Kelly Radio Show live from O'Rourke's.
Join us at O'Rourke's Public House, home of the Brian Kelly Radio Show, to cheer on the Fighting Irish before, during, and after all home games. O'Rourke's Irish decor, delicious menu items, and wide variety of beer selections are sure to enhance your game day experience. Open at 8 a.m. on game days, you can watch Saturday's college football action on any of O'Rourke's 15 TVs, including a 92-inch projector screen. O'Rourke's Public House, located directly across from Notre Dame Stadium at the corner of Angela and Eddy Street in the Eddy Street Commons Center.
The two most recognized names in orthopedic and sports medicine have teamed up to form Ascendant Orthopedic Alliance. South Bend Orthopedics and OSMC are now Ascendant Orthopedic Alliance, offering patients access to more than 40 physicians in 7 state-of-the-art locations with no referral required. As one entity, they will collaborate with a broader group, sharing experiences and ideas so you'll receive the best care possible. Although Ascendant Orthopedic Alliance is a new name, they're still committed to the community they've served for over 70 years. For more information, visit ascendantortho.org.
If your superpower is making pizza disappear, then you've got to try Papa John's new Italian Hero Pizza. Featuring a creamy Italian sauce covered with epic portions of pepperoni, salami, Roma tomatoes, onions, banana peppers, and topped with 4 delicious cheeses. It's like an Italian Hero sandwich on a pizza. Get a large Italian Hero Pizza for just $10. Download the app or order at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tip, and delivery fee extra.
Life doesn't come with a financial roadmap. It does come with a lot of bumps and red lights. Steering clear of those doesn't have to be difficult. With First Source Bank's online money management tools, you can see all your financial accounts, balances, and transactions in one place. So you can easily set monthly budgets to help manage expenses and debt. Get the green light to a successful financial future with First Source's money management tools. First Source Bank, where better is better. Member FDIC.
All right, we are getting right into the 60-second drill for both these guys. You can give your own answers. You can combine. These guys, they've done it before. Favorite all-time movie?
Good Will Hunting.
Friday Night Lights.
Favorite TV show if you guys ever get to watch TV?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Nice.
Outstanding. First car you ever drove?
Honda Odyssey.
02 Yukon XL.
Favorite musical group or artist?
J. Cole.
Zach Brown Band.
One thing the public would be surprised to learn about you?
Front 2 teeth are fake.
You went with that last year.
Yeah, I did.
I like the fish. I went with that last year, too.
Well, they don't remember.
Yeah,
So that's good.
yeah,
That is,
right.
I forgot.
This dude.
This one's fake on me, too. That's very few things I have in common with guys like this. Get up early or sleep in?
Get up early.
Sleep in.
Player on the team most like you?
Probably Bars.
Sam. I was
Yeah, you
Sam.
too. Yeah. Linemen, it is. They really are like brothers. There's no question. Good question for both of you because you experienced Notre Dame Stadium before video board and after video board. Thoughts on the new video board?
It's awesome. It gets the crowd going.
Yeah, it's great.
And I like the replays. And you guys do watch. People wonder when they watch the replays, they pay attention. And I know, Coach, we've got to get those replays up quicker so you can make a good decision on the challenges as well. One thing you always hear from Coach Kelly in practice.
Process.
Yes, I've heard that many times as well. What does it mean to be a captain of the Notre Dame football team?
It's everything. I mean, Sam would agree. It's the biggest honor we've ever in our entire lives.
Yeah, Sam, for those listening on the radio, Sam is vigorously nodding his agreement. All right, which is better? Pancake block, opening a big hole, long pass protection, or a lineman-eligible touchdown reception?
Touchdown, yeah. For sure.
I'm going to get in trouble for that. Is there a center-eligible play?
Oh, I don't know.
You haven't practiced that.
We need a
No,
71
all right.
eligible
Not
play.
yet.
Who's the hardest player to block on this team?
Dylan Gibbons.
Yeah.
Really? We'll
gotta
wait
be
to
right,
see
yeah.
that. Who's the best singer on the team?
Jeremiah Owusu.
Myron.
Yeah, Myron's good too.
Okay. Best dancer on the team?
Trevor Willen.
Yeah, Trevor.
Best comedian on the team?
Trevor as well.
Yeah.
Best comedian on the coaching staff?
Coach Long.
Yeah, Coach
Really?
Long is pretty funny.
Yeah, he's
funny
pretty
guy.
funny.
Yeah,
Coach
actually.
Elston too. Coach Elston's
Elston,
pretty
yeah.
funny.
Best dresser on the team?
Yeah, Coach Kelly.
Well, that's
Coach,
the
he's
next
got some
question.
fresh
That was
feet.
best dresser on the coaching staff, but best dresser among the players.
Mike Young has some good outfits.
Really?
I'd say for game day,
Yeah, Brandon Wimbush as
All
well.
right, who's the best dresser on the offensive line?
yeah. Me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Him.
Worst dresser on the offensive line?
Trevor.
Trevor. Player on the team most likely to become a football coach?
Trevor Rowland.
Yeah,
He loves football.
All right. Best thing about playing for Notre Dame?
Guys like that.
Yeah,
Guys like Alex
the guys
Bars.
in the room that you're playing with, the offensive linemen that you just practice and play with week in and week out.
All right, guys, get to pizza night. Good luck Saturday. Alex Barr, Sam Mustipher, thanks for the time. Back with more right after this.
Gulfstream Coach. We're looking for a few exceptional trainees for our first shift who are eager to learn, can function in a fast-paced environment, and want to learn the RV business. We're a family-owned business and offer amazing health insurance, attendance bonuses, and paid vacation time. Call us at 800-289-8787. That's 800-289-8787. Or apply online at GulfstreamCoach.com. That's GulfstreamCoach.com. You could be just what we're looking for. Apply today.
Score some great deals at Kurt Outdoor Living's open house this Saturday from 10 to 2 and get your backyard in shape for fall entertaining with one-day special pricing. Blocks and pavers 10% off retail orders. Polly's Island patio furniture 20% off. Outdoor furniture up to 50% off. Gas fire tables up to 40% off. Grills 15% off. Wood-burning DIY fire pit kits only $3.99. Enter to win a tailgate grilling package. 2129 West Wilden Avenue, Goshen. KurtOutdoorLiving.com.
Eddy Street Commons at Notre Dame invites you to dine, shop, enjoy. Just south of campus, Eddy Street Commons has specialty shops like Urban Outfitters, Nicholas J. Salon, Kilwin's Chocolates, and Hammis Bookstore. If you're looking for a delicious dining destination, consider one of Eddy Street's many eateries. O'Rourke's, Barbeachy, Brothers Bar and Grill, and now open is Livery. That's Eddy Street Commons at Notre Dame. Follow them on Facebook. For details on upcoming events and special offers, visit eddycommons.com.
Hi, this is Doug Leckleitner. For nearly 4 decades, Leckleitner Door Sales and Service has been trusted for quality installation and repair of residential, commercial, garage, and overhead doors. At Leckleitner Door, we have no sales gimmicks, just honesty and integrity by a family-owned business that my dad started in 1979. The Leckleitner name stands for quality products and workmanship, and we strive to satisfy each customer with every door we install or repair. Leckleitner Door, we open all the right doors. Call 295-6311.
It's time to join the millions of people using Zoom video conferencing. Turn any size conference room, huddle room, or executive office into a Zoom room with flawless HD video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your existing hardware. Start your meetings with a single touch or use Zoom's new voice command feature. Hey Zoom, start meeting. Huddle happy. Visit zoom.us to set up your free Zoom room trial today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
We're back at Brian Kelly Radio Show live from O'Rourke's Public House. You just heard both of your offensive captains talk about the greatest honor of their lives, and certainly they deserve it. Those are the kind of guys that you attract here, and they earn that right.
Yeah, so we vote. Our players vote for them, and they were on every ballot. Our players unanimously voted for him. So this was something that their peers picked. And we started out, as I said earlier, with 8 different teams, our entire team broken up into 8 groups. They were leaders of one of those 8 groups. So each and every week they had a chance to prove their leadership ability in these subgroups. And they were always at the top of those competitive, as we talked about, opportunities. So it was pretty clear that their peers saw how good they were with their own subgroups, and it made it easy when we went to vote for captains that these guys were going to, obviously be leaders for us.
Now, right from the very first year Coach and I started doing the show 9 years ago, he's always made it clear to me that he wants the audience questions to get to as many as we possibly can. We have a bunch presented by Tire Rack. We're going to get to most of them tonight. Dave Mancinelli is here from Alpha, New Jersey. Hi, Coach. Will there be any additional players added to the defensive line rotation in the coming weeks?
Well, we've added Justin and Jason Adiomola, 2 freshmen from St. Peter's Prep in New Jersey. They'll be in the rotation. So those kids will definitely be part of it. Tariq Bracey is a corner out of California. He's in the rotation as well. Yeah, I think, with Myron out, Tagliavola, he's probably another, 3 to 4 weeks, probably more like 4 to 5 weeks away. I think you'll start to see those kids continue to play with our 2 deep.
You did something at Wake Forest. There was so much talk about, well, how are you going to rotate against their up-tempo offense? But you borrowed a page from the sport of hockey. You had the entire line ready to go, literally changing on the fly. I can't remember ever seeing that in the game before.
Well, we had to do it when the puck was, at center ice, So we went over the boards when it was on our hash near our sideline, and we were able to change out the entire line, if you will, at one time. And so we were able to get situationally the substitution that we wanted. And then when we had, opportunities, when the ball was an incomplete, we could change the back end of the defense, and even if we needed to, change substitution personnel with nickel and regular personnel. So it went pretty good. Obviously, we scored points. That's the best way to do it. And then, be really good on third down. That's how you slow down. And the contrast is amazing, right? We're going to go to a team that last week was second in the country.
93 plays.
93 to a team that has 35 less plays a game with Stanford. So this is a huge change between the two teams. We won't have to worry about employing, those kinds of tactics for this offense.
I mean, nothing's ever easy, but is it less stressful to go up against a team that's more deliberate?
Well, it's less stressful in terms of changing personnel, but when your personnel is really good,
yeah.
It becomes more stressful in certain areas of the field with their personnel.
Phil Potter of Granger would like to know who is more advanced now, in your opinion, the offense or the defense?
Well, I think our defense has been a little bit ahead. I think our offense is catching up. Remember now, we played with 2 new offensive linemen, virtually an entire new skill group. I think, Miles Boykin was the leading receiver coming back with 9 receptions of all of the receivers and all new running backs. So that's a lot of production that we had lacked. So those guys needed time to really mature. And I think 4 weeks, going into 4 weeks now, those guys have kind of caught up, and we want to be able to complement our defense. If we can continue to complement, I think we've got a pretty good football team.
Chuck Sossman here from Granger, as always. Usually has very probing questions. All he's got this week is great win, Coach, aggressive and attacking on both sides of the ball. A pleasure to watch. Keep it going. I think that's the goal. Jerry Liss also always here. Coach, can you say hi to my mom, Josephine? She listens to every show.
Hi, Josephine. Keep listening.
We can do that. Diane Nussbaum's here from Los Angeles. Well, actually, she's not here, but her husband has submitted the question that she would have submitted because she's at the hospital with their daughter. I hope everything is okay.
Same here.
How do you keep the players focused on the current week and not looking too far ahead?
Because they can't control next week. They can control this week. And so we work really hard with their mental game, and the mental game for them is about control the controllables, right? What can you control? Because nothing else really matters if you can't control it, right? I can't control the weather, so why do I worry about it? I can't control next week, so why worry about it? What you can control is your preparation. What you can't control is how you play, how you prepare. And so that's really how we go about it.
Tom Nussbaum, who submitted the question for his wife, also has one. What is the biggest challenge in facing the Stanford defense?
Versatility. They're a 3-down, 4-down team. They mix things up very well. I think they do a really good job in the back end of the defense, giving you multiple looks. I just think that they mix things up and they don't give you consistent looks each and every down. I think that's what they've always done really well, and that's what they continue to do.
Very stingy in giving up points, 13.5 a game, 10th in the country. Statistically, they're the second best defense that you will face this year behind Michigan.
Yes, no doubt, and I agree with that. We're the best defense. Yeah.
Brandon Liss here from South Bend. What stands out with this team compared to others that you have coached at Notre Dame?
I would say that, in terms of balance, we have a chance with all 3 units, offense, defense, and special teams, to be as complementary in a sense that other teams that we've had to be reliant on one unit over the other. I think that this team has a chance to be and excel in all 3 phases. And right now we're not there yet, but we're getting better to the point where I think this could be the first team that excels in all 3 of those phases.
Of course, the game is sold out, but you can still go if you go to Vivid Seats, the official ticket marketplace of the Fighting Irish. Visit vividseats.com/UND today to buy and sell your tickets. Vivid Seats helps you see more and sit closer all season long at vividseats.com/UND. Tom is here, or Tim is here from Norwich, Connecticut. The tight end seemed to be more involved last week. Was that by design, or was Ian reading the open receiver?
It was both. I mean, we're not going to throw to the tight end unless he's part of our progression. And, Ian does a really good job of getting the ball out on time through his progression. And, the tight ends obviously are very talented. We want to be able to get them to Alizé and Nick, and certainly, having Cole Kmet back this week, and certainly last week Cole catching the ball and Brock Wright catching a touchdown. It was really nice to see that.
Lisa Rolls here from Johnstown, New York. What are you looking for from your team in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game?
Well, we always want to start fast, right? I always like taking the football. I think the percentages of scoring, obviously those numbers greatly enhance your chance of winning. So, I think we outscore our opponent 36-7 in the first quarter, get off to a great start at home, get the crowd going. I like getting the momentum early on.
We have more questions, and luckily we have more time, but one final break to take. We'll take it now and be back to wrap up this week's edition of the Brian Kelly Radio Show right after this timeout.
We know you like football. So do we. We're TireRack.com, and this is our version of a 2-minute drill, except it's only 30 seconds. TireRack.com has an enormous selection of tires. Not sure which ones to buy? Use our tire decision guide to find the right tires for your vehicle and the way you drive. Then get them shipped fast and free on all orders over $50. Shipping is in as little as 1 day. Free. TireRack.com ships to independent, recommended installers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Touchdown!
Join us at O'Rourke's Public House, home of the Brian Kelly Radio Show, to cheer on the Fighting Irish before, during, and after all home games. O'Rourke's Irish decor, delicious menu items, and wide variety of beer selections are sure to enhance your game day experience. Open at 8 a.m. on game days, you can watch Saturday's college football action on any of O'Rourke's 15 TVs, including a 92-inch projector screen. O'Rourke's Public House, located directly across from Notre Dame Stadium at the corner of Angela and Eddy Street in the Eddy Street Commons Center.
Remember the day you hit a fastball through the neighbor's picture window, bent a couple of Dad's golf clubs, and started a fire in the garage because your mother told you not to play with matches in the house? Well, it happens. But if you have a West Bend insurance policy covering the important things in your life, your worst day doesn't have to end up so bad after all. Because the worst brings out our best. West Bend. To find out more, go to thesilverlining.com.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss your chance to experience the action live with tickets from Vivid Seats, the official ticket marketplace of the Fighting Irish. Visit vividseats.com/UND today to buy and sell tickets to any event. Home games, on the road, even sold-out games, no problem. And every transaction is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee. Vivid Seats lets you see more and sit closer all season long. Support the Fighting Irish with tickets from the official ticket marketplace, Vivid Seats. Available now at vividseats.com/UND.
Tonight's Brian Kelly Radio Show is brought to you by TireRack.com. And while we're talking running, passing, and kicking, the experts at TireRack have cornering, traction, and performance of a different kind on their minds. That's why you'll be able to get your tires right at TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Nathan Sagan's here from Granger. Coach, what are your expectations for Dexter Williams this Saturday?
200 yards and 6 touchdowns. We have a high bar. Listen, it's God Country in Notre Dame, and Dexter 6 touchdowns. Let's go. He's got to live up to that. I mean, I think it's fair to say that, first game back, I mean, if we can get him somewhere between, 8 to 12 touches, that'd be really good.
Kevin M's here from Granger, and this is an appropriate question on the night we had the two offensive line captains here. How close is the offensive line to being a finished product?
I think we're getting closer. There's some nuances still that need to be worked out there in terms of consistency of play. But Kramer didn't play last week. He'll be back in there. Communication is so important. So they see things and react to them more so than have to point them out after the fact. So Coach Quinn, new coach, still working with his group. There's a lot of continuity there, but, I think we're getting there. We've played really well. We're 4-0 with, really
3 Power 5 victories already.
3 Power 5 victories and 2 new starters in there. So I think we've made great progress, but I think there's still room for growth is the answer.
And there's only 3 teams in the country with 3 victories over Power 5 teams
Just
through the
3.
first 4 weeks.
Yep,
So
yep.
that's big. And I mean, not to be cute, but any coach, any line you've ever coached, is it ever a finished product? Because that means it can't get any better.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if you look at it, right, I mean, they won the Joe Moore Award, and that's a great result and a great bar. But I think if you look at consistency and performance through November is really, I think that to me is where when you can start to move the ball in November, when guys get beat up and get tired, that's when you got to have some depth too, and I think we're going to have that this year.
Jill from Tennessee paid attention last week. Her question is, did Jurkovec shave yet?
Yes, he did. Yes. Newsflash. Yes.
You said he had to do that in order to get into a game.
Yes, he did.
Ann Nussbaum here from New York. I've been reading the tweets from Brandon Wimbush's mom. Is that why he has such a good head on his shoulders? She seems to be able to keep everything in perspective.
She's wonderful. She is a incredible mom first, and loves her son and extremely supportive, and has been, look, those are tough times, right? And the first thing that she wants to know that her son is, being cared for, and that's the most important thing for her. And she's been supportive in everything that we've done, and she just wants to make sure that her son is being taken care of in the right way. And I think we've handled it in the right way. And she would love to see her son start, but that's not the end goal here for her.
Well, and he and Ian are close. Brandon's handling it well, and not to give away anything, but you've talked about you need them both, and Brandon is still taking some reps with the first team. So he is still very important to your team.
He has to. He took a lot of first-team reps today because, he's got to be ready to go in and run the offense at a moment's notice.
Mike Manning from Ithaca, New York, and this is quite a contrast. Stanford just started classes on their quarter system. You're heading towards midterms. Coach, how do you manage exam week and to ensure your players are rested, prepared, and hydrated for the game that follows exam week?
Really tricky. So those are some of the more difficult little things that people don't see, when we get into exam weeks. Sleep, and how it affects performance. Central nervous system disruption. Those are very real things that go on that don't go on anywhere else. But, colleges that really have high academic standards. So we'll get through it. We'll fight through it. But those are real issues that we have to deal with.
Matt Bradley is here from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Coach, who is a mentor, football or outside, that you would like to get stuck on an elevator with?
I don't want to get stuck on an elevator and talk football with anybody. I don't want to get stuck on an elevator, first of all. Second of all, if you said stuck on a deserted island, that might
stuck
be
on a
better.
Caribbean island with an unlimited supply of beverages.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then I'd entertain it. But I think there are so many great people. To me, the game of football is shared with head coaches that have similar philosophies. And there are so many great head coaches out there that I have similar philosophies with that I'd have no problem sitting down and talking football with for hours.
Carol from New Jersey has the question we often ask the players in the 60-second drill. Coach, who in the team do you think has the most potential to be a coach someday?
From an offensive standpoint, guys that really stand out to me, I would say Chris Fink, really smart kid. Ian Book, another guy that really knows the game very, very well. Nick Wisher, another guy on offense. Those guys kind of stand out to me. Defensively, guys that stand out. Bo Bauer stands out to me. And I'd probably say somebody like Julian Love.
Okay. Pat O'Brien's here from Charlotte. It appears that we are the better football team, but how do you defend against a team whose quarterback throws up jump balls to 6'7" receivers with the basketball pedigree to box out defenders? Although their biggest starting wide receiver is 6'3", and you've got some pretty big wide receivers that your guys go against every day in practice.
Yeah, we have to work on it. Technically, you have to be in really good position. You can't get boxed out. I would say, think of basketball, right, when you have to front, the low post. There's very similar techniques there. You front the low post, you make them throw it over the top, and you fight for the ball. You got to be in good position to fight for the ball. You can't fight for the ball if you're locked out behind somebody. So you got to play the low shoulder. You got to be in good position. Sometimes you got to get help and double up some of those guys. So you got to mix it up. You can't just sit there and hope that they're not going to catch it. There's things that you have to do, and I think we'll employ all those techniques.
And the question, I think, was referring to the tight ends. The starter 6'5", the next guy 6'7".
Well, Arcega-Whiteside is 6'4", 6'3 and a half.
Yeah.
But we've got some big guys too. So it's not like Julian Love has not gone up against a 6'4" plus receiver and Miles Boykin and Chase Claypool. So our guys see it, each and every week, and so they're prepared.
We have reached the final minute of the show, so let's just go over your keys to this game for Notre Dame.
Well, defensively, it starts with Bryce Love. You have to have answers for him. You can't let him take over the football game. As talented as Costello and the receiver crew is, it starts with stopping Bryce Love. And then you've got to backfill from there because they do have, obviously, great weapons on the perimeter. From an offensive standpoint, this has always been about our inability to take care of the football when we've lost football games here. So take care of the football. If we take care of the football, we'll be fine, and we'll win the football game. Take care of the football. You got to be able to stop Bryce Love, and if we do that, we're in great shape.
Coach, thank you, and good luck Saturday.
Thank you. Thanks, Jack.
Kickoff, 7:36. You can listen to it on all of these Brian Kelly radio station affiliates. Watch it on NBC. Thanks for coming out. We'll be back again next Thursday. Until then, good night and go Irish.
This is the Brian Kelly